Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our course on the governing principles of ancient China. Now, in this series of the lectures, we'll be exploring 9 different topics of the governing principles of ancient China. Specifically, in the first half of the course, we'll be looking at ethical governance based on education, the method of education, benevolence as a way of governance, and we'll talk about the people as the root of the nation, and also ethics of the government, which determines prosperity and demise. So that's the first half. Now, in the second half of this course, we'll focus on the human resource management side of the governance. Now, in particular, we'll examine topics such as quality check, winning the talent, the use of the talent, and how the government may lose the support of the talented and virtuous people. Now, one thing I would like to point out is that there are many ways to study the governing principles of ancient China. Some people may choose to go through the governing principle page by page, but some may like to learn from a more systematic way, such as the way we're choose for this particular course. But I think the purpose of studying the governing principle of ancient China is to understand how we can use the ancient philosophies in today's governing or today's governance. And when we say governing or governance, it is all-inclusive across many dimensions. Not just country governance, but also governing a family, governing a company, a private enterprise, as well as personal cultivation. The studying of the governing principle of ancient China is not only suitable for someone in a management position, and as you probably know, in traditional Chinese philosophy, family management, country governance, and world peace all come from the same root, and that is personal cultivation of morality and ethics. So governance really is all-inclusive, and it covers every aspect of human life. Now, before we formally begin our study, I think the first thing to do is a comprehensive introduction of the governing principles of ancient China, where it came from, and what's the main content. Now, at the beginning of Zhenguan era, Emperor Taizong of the Tang Dynasty of China decreed that the governing principles be compiled, which is the compilation of books and writing on the important governing principles. At the age of 16, Taizong enlisted himself in the army and joined his father's forces to try to stop the turmoil that was going on in the society. Now, for more than 10 years, he dwelled himself in military matters. And after he ascended to the throne at the age of 27, I think, he laid down his armor and began to promote culture and education, and paying particular attention to the principles of governing and bringing peace to the nation. He sought to rejuvenate the nation from the aftermath of civil strife to restoring order to life, also reducing the burdens of ordinary people and increasing prosperity. Although Taizong was an intelligent, brave, and eloquent man, he regretted that his earlier military expeditions had prevented him from obtaining much formal education. And he also learned from the mistakes made by the fallen Sui dynasty and realized that to start a new dynasty was no easy task, and to sustain it would be even harder. So during his reign, he encouraged his ministers to point out his mistakes and to candidly criticize his imperial policies. And to make up for lost time, Taizong ordered 2 advisors, the Honorable Wei Zheng and Yu Shinan, to basically come through all of the historical records on imperial governing principles from the 6 classics, the 4 collections of history, and the hundreds of schools, and to extract the most important lessons related to the cultivation of oneself, management of family, a good government, and the ways to bring about peace in the world. The result was a collection titled The Governing Principles, carefully excerpted from 14,000 books and 89,000 scrolls of ancient writings, 500,000 words in total, and covering 65 book categories dating from the era of the 5 legendary emperors to the Jin dynasty, which is from 21st century BC to 420 AD. So this truly is a treasured compilation on governing principles that can bring about peace and order, which, it says, when used in the present, allows us to examine and learn from our ancient history. When passed down to our descendants, will help them to learn valuable lessons in life. So those were the words written by advisor Wei Zheng. Emperor Taizong was extremely pleased with the broad yet concise compilation, and would not let the books out of his sight. He said, "The collection had helped me to learn from the ancient. When confronted with issues, I'm very certain of knowing what to do. And this is all due to your efforts, my advisors." So from here we can see that the consequent peace and prosperity of the Zhenguan era was attributed greatly to this compilation. So the treasure is truly a must-read for all politicians. However, by the beginning of the Song dynasty, which is after the Tang dynasty, the governing principles disappeared from circulation. Now, this is due to the fact that Chinese woodblock printing was not well developed at that time. The history of Song also didn't show any record of this compilation. Fortunately, the Japanese Kanazawa Bunko Museum collection had a complete manuscript hand-copied by Japanese monks during the Kamakura period, which is 1192 to 1330. The Japanese returned the books to China in the 60th year of the reign of Emperor Qianlong of Qing dynasty. The teaching of the saints and sages constitute an embodiment of the true self-nature of all beings that transcend time and space. And even now, they still hold true. The key learning point hinges on 2 words: sincerity and respect. The article Summary of the Rules of Propriety says, "Always and in everything let there be reverence." Emperor Kangxi of the Qing dynasty said, when a ruler interacts with his people, the element of respect is fundamental. He also said, all the teachings that have been passed down through thousands of years is no more than sincerity and respect. The prominent Song scholar Cheng Zi, he said, respect triumphs over all evils. So these sayings illuminate the fact that in order to cultivate ourselves, advance our virtues, help people, and benefit the world, only sincerity and respect can enable us to perfectly achieve these. If we lack respect and sincerity towards the teaching of the ancient sages and virtuous emperors, little benefit would be gained even if we had read the ancient texts extensively. The wisdom, the ideas, the methods, the experience, the results of governing, which are all in the governing principles, are crystallized from thousands of years of trials and errors and tribulations. They are indeed precious. So if we can fully comprehend and apply these principles, world peace and individual bliss can be achieved naturally. So I do hope that you enjoy this course and let the fun begin.